Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So you're about to sign up for CDL school. Hold on. Before you do that, hear me out. Okay, I'm going to give you my top 10 qualities to becoming a truck driver. So let's talk about it. Now, before we begin, please, if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button. It will definitely help out this channel. And if you do find this video to be informative, smash that like button. So let's get to it. So I still keep in touch with my mentor from Swift, and during our conversations, I noticed that some of his students didn't want to finish the training, and they all basically had the same reasoning, and it's that trucking is not what they expected. Now, before you go and say that maybe it's my mentor scaring them off, but keep in mind, I was his student for well over a month, and I do remember how nervous I was. In fact, I did post a video on my experience with Swift, and I told that whole story of how nervous I was my first day meeting my mentor. So yes, I could see how intimidating and nerve-wracking transitioning into a truck driver can be. And what probably helped me get through that training was the preparations I did months prior. And that's what this video is all about, to share with you guys what I did mentally to prepare myself before I got behind a wheel of a semi. There are many different traits that makes up a great truck driver. It's more than just turning the key, putting the vehicle in gear, and driving cross country to states and cities that you've never been to and making good money doing it. Those are the things that you see on the surface. And those are the things that I do believe is why a lot of students or a lot of new drivers not following through their training. When you get hired onto a company, especially if you're going to be a new driver that just got their CDL license, understand or expect that there's going to be training involved. And keep in mind, they're not going to teach you how to drive. I do feel like a lot of new students are misguided that once they are getting trained, they are still learning how to drive. No. Trainers or mentors will absolutely help you get better in certain things. Like, I was terrible at parking. Terrible. I don't even know how my mentor even passed me. But after a lot of practice, I could do it blindfold, right? So there's something to that, right? If you work hard at something and then you see the results at the end of that, there's something gratifying about that, right? And some of these new students, they don't even see it through. They see a little bit of failure on their part and they just say, forget it and just give up. But during your training, again, you're not learning how to drive, but instead you're learning their policy. You're learning what it is to be an actual truck driver. And a lot of the times, this part of the training will scare a student away because they're not thinking about this. Because during the last few weeks, while going to CDL school, all they've been telling them is how to pass their CDL test. But in training, you're going to learn how to be an actual truck driver. This is another side of being a truck driver that are sometimes overlooked. So let's get to it. Education and training. It's the first step towards being a great truck driver. Just by watching this video before committing to a CDL school is already showing me that you are preparing yourself mentally. I must have watched hundreds of YouTube videos and Googled so many different information on what it really takes to become a truck driver. So I'm really trying to put myself in the shoes of a truck driver, just to see if I'm even capable of transitioning to this new field. And because I'm basically a realist. But keep in mind, once you get your CDL, that is not where your education and training ends. You are constantly learning and keeping up with all the new trends, laws, and guidelines. And your company should also provide plenty of safety trainings to ensure that you stay safe while on the road. So my next quality is patience. Now, if you saw my last video on my 6-month honest review working the Amazon account, you will kind of know that I'm still working on this one. Listen, there's going to be many, many times that you're going to get stuck on the road, or you're going to be delayed at a shipper or a receiver's, and unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get on the road as quickly as you want to. Or it could be certain things such as maybe the truck stop that you are planning to stop is full. So now you got to find somewhere else to go to shut down. Or, God forbid, you get a blown tire or mechanical issues that unfortunately will set you back, and you'll have to address it right away. All of these things can happen in a day of a life of a truck driver. And no matter what happens, it's just important just to keep your cool and be patient. Me personally, what works for me to keep sane are what I can control and what I cannot control. If I can't control it, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. It's not worth it. No matter what my attitude will be at that time, won't change the outcome, unfortunately. It's just best to just stay cool, stay calm, and be patient. My third quality is stress management. Along the same lines of staying patient, we know it's going to be stressful to manage your time on the road. You got detours that always keeps popping up. Even your personal life, right? With your coworkers and family members, right? But it's really about managing all those daily stressors that could potentially affect your duties on the road, a quality skill to develop. And everybody has basically their own way of how to manage your stress. Exercise, they meditate, they listen to music. Just by eating healthier foods will definitely put you in the right mindset. You got to figure out that method that works for you. The fourth quality is alertness and awareness. So being aware and alert at all times while you're on the road is vital for not only your safety, but the safety of other drivers around you, obviously, right? And there's many different factors to be aware of. You got weather conditions, you got traffic all around you, but also be aware of how your truck is performing. If you notice that maybe it's a different sound or maybe a different smell, those are the things you got to be alert for. Basically, you just want to make sure that you're using all of your senses. The fifth one is a time management skill. If you saw my video on how to manage your time properly, definitely check that video out. I have a lot of great information, I think, on there as well. But a lot of that, a lot of students or whoever's new getting into this field won't take that into consideration, right? Probably just, put the information on your Garmin, your navigation, and just drive. But there's more to that, right? And it's all about time management. And as a truck driver, you need to be able to manage your time so that you can get your orders to the customers on time. Then you got to take your break at the best optimal time that you probably can. It comes down to when a driver pre-plans their route, okay? If you need some assistance with that, I definitely recommend you checking out that video about time management. And hopefully that can help you guys out and better understand what it takes to manage your time wisely. Number 6 is being a reliable driver, just being a reliable employee, someone that your employer can really rely on. Right? I mean, that goes for pretty much any job you end up having, I think, right? Getting your work done in a timely manner. And I think the biggest one that some of the newer drivers fear doing is asking for help when you need it. I mean, you're new. I still to this day ask for help. You're learning, this is a whole new field for you guys. So everyone is aware that you are new. That is fine. You don't need to impress everyone, guys. All right? So definitely ask for help. People around you will absolutely respect that. And just not being late to your drops, guys. That's basically what it is. I mean, most of the companies that I've worked for, they don't care what you do in between, as long as you pick up and drop off on time. So now the company sees you as someone that they can rely on. If they can rely on you to getting your drops and pickups on time, chances are you're going to be getting those good loads, those higher mile loads. This person is reliable. This person can get the job done. Let's give them the best loads. I mean, they're going to give the best loads to drivers that are constantly late. And it's basically segues to the next one, which is customer service. A lot of people probably don't realize this, but we do have customers. Well, my company's JB Hunt. The customer is Amazon. But I represent JB Hunt. Number 8 is communication. Along the lines of customer service, being able to communicate clearly can go a long way when you're a truck driver. When you're talking to your dispatch, your customers, your boss, your fellow drivers, even your family, right? You need to be able to effectively and calmly and professionally communicate whatever messages that you are trying to get across. Dispatch only knows what it is you tell them. They're not there on the road or at the facilities with you. So they could only respond to what it is you are conveying to them. So make sure you communicate well with them so that they could provide you with the best solution. It is a team effort, guys. They're going to rely on you just as much as that you should rely on them. 9 is being self-dependent. Obviously, the majority of their time is spent alone while you're on the road. So you don't have anybody to kind of like wake you up every time you hit snooze. You don't have a boss, screaming in the back of your neck saying to get your job done. You don't have any of that. You're going to have to be able to problem solve on your own when issues arise, if any. You got to get self-motivated. Got to do what you got to do. I don't want to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning. No one does. But but that's the job. I have to get there on time so that I could turn around and come home. That is my motivation. You got to figure out and seek out what motivates you. Only you could figure out what will spark you to getting up out of bed and getting things done. The last one, I just put it in there only because really you should have some sort of knowledge, and that's mechanical knowledge, right? I knew nothing. I remember there was a time where I didn't know the difference between a screwdriver and a bus driver. Having some sort of mechanical knowledge can be extremely helpful when you're on the road. And no one's asking you to be a master mechanic by any means, right? But like little things, maybe change a spark plug, or maybe how to like add or check your oil levels or your coolant levels. Little things like that. Those things can also ultimately save you money and save you time. You don't want to have to wait for a tow truck hours on end just to find out that your oil level is low or something like that, right? Google and YouTube will be your friend, trust me. And there you have it, guys. Those are my top qualities that I feel like a truck driver should have. This field is more than just driving. There's a lot more that goes into it. Guys, if you do decide to go with this and getting your CDL and getting hired and going and being trained by a mentor, finish it through, guys, because there's no more gratification really than completing something. The problem is, guys, if you don't see it through, you're not building that disciplined mentality that one should have. So just believe in yourself, never forgetting why you decided to get your CDL in the first place. It looks fun, you get to travel, you make a lot of money, or you might see that this could be a great way to provide for your family and for yourself, get out of debt. You need to have that burning desire whenever you do anything, but you never to let go or forget what that was. But if you guys do decide to go through with your CDL for all the right reasons, good luck to you guys. You guys will do well out there. And just keep in mind, if it's worth it to you guys, it's never going to be easy. And if you guys stuck out to the very end of this video, I do appreciate it. Thank you so very, very much for your support. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you do find this video to be informative, absolutely give me that thumbs up. And of course, guys, good luck to you. Leave me a comment in the bottom and let me know about your journey. And always stay safe out there, guys. Take care.